Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. This is a very exciting one for me. I'm doing the 1,000 subscriber special. So I did something a little bit unique, a little bit different than I normally do. And I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of a Q&A, or I asked you guys to send me some questions. So I kind of went through them all. Thank you very much for everybody who participated in that. It's been super awesome to just see so many comments and questions and all sorts of great things. You guys are amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of my favorite questions. So first question comes from, let's see here. Here we go. Okay, Teener. You look great as a pirate. Congrats on the subs. You deserve it. What survival game got you into the genre? So actually, Conan Exiles got me into the genre. Long story short, which I'll get to later, because there's a couple questions that are pretty related. So Conan Exiles got me in here. Ark Survival Evolved. Those two, I've been hitting those pretty hard and heavy over the last year. Yeah, about a year and a half, so something like that. But before that, survival games, they weren't what they used to be. It was a little bit different. So I played a lot of first-person shooters and typical games like that. I mean, there's some adventure games like Skyrim, of course, that's obvious. Who didn't play Skyrim? Some Fallout, things like that. But the true survival games, I really didn't get into until here relatively recently. Okay, next question is, let's see here. It is from Happy Mouse. Okay, how am I doing? I am doing great. Thank you for asking. What games do you currently play for fun? So, a lot of the games that I play for fun, just for fun, I do play Conan Exiles for fun. And the reason I say that, I know I'm doing it for content, but at the same time, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a really fun time doing it. So that in itself is fun. Outside of that, if I ever really just want a break, sometimes I play like Far Cry 5. I'll play that sometimes. I'll play PUBG or I'll play Fortnite. Something just kind of different from the norm. I don't typically go in and play like a single player thing in Conan or in Ark. But if I had to say between the two, what'll take me a little bit of a break is Ark. If I'm playing Conan, I'll go to Ark or vice versa. Just to kind of play around, farm a little bit, do a little bit of exploring, that kind of stuff. Okay, PC specs. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do a little B-roll. Never really done one of those before, but it sounded fancy saying it. So I'm going to do B-roll of my new PC. Basically, and I'll go ahead and put the specs in the description on this video. So, built a new PC. My other PC was about 10 years old. Everything from well, pretty much from the start of the channel until about a month ago, roughly, was all on the old PC. Yeah, that was a original i7 920. Yeah. It was pretty old. I can't even remember what the motherboard was. My brother, I bought it from my brother back in 2008 or 2009 is when he actually built this PC. And then after he built his new one, I bought it from him and I just had it ever since. I ended up upgrading the RAM a little bit and buying a new graphics card. I have a 1050 Ti, and because prices were so high with the new build still, I went ahead and just held off on getting a new graphics card, but eventually that's the only other thing besides maybe an additional SSD that I'm going to be actually upgrading on this PC. So the PC specs will be down below. I went with the AMD Ryzen 2700X. It's working like a boss right now. I got the... who makes my... It's an ASUS Crosshair Hero 7 motherboard. I've got 16 gigs of RAM. What else? I'm using actually the AMD Ryzen 7 2700X actually comes with its own cooler. I'm using that. I'm not using an aftermarket cooler. Everything seems really, really cool. And I also got a Next case. Looks awesome. You guys will see it in the B-roll. But that's pretty much what it is. I'm using 2 different drives. Well, technically 3. So I'm using an M.2. I'm using, which is, I think it's 250 gigs. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to check on that. You'll see it in the description. The main drive that I use, that I'm going to be switching all my games over to, is a Samsung 860 EVO 1 terabyte SSD. I'm going to be moving all my games over to that eventually. And then I also have a, what is it? I think it's a Firecuda. It's the hybrid drive from Seagate, 2 terabytes. That's a little bit of SSD, a little bit of regular traditional hard drive. So those are the 3 drives that I'm technically using right now. Eventually I'll get another SSD, hopefully another terabyte, and we'll just kind of shift some things around right there. Those have been really, really helpful. Keyboard is a Corsair. It's a K70, I think. I don't know. It's the cherry brown keys though. And I'm using a Logitech. Actually, I don't remember. It's a Logitech G402 mouse. And a Logitech 920C for the webcam. Okay, I'm also using a DBX Professional Products. Yes, it is very professional. I can't believe I just read that. It's a DBX 286S, which is a, I don't even know what to call this thing. Is it a mic preamp? It is a mic preamp, but it also does a whole bunch of other stuff like de-esser. It adds a compressor. It also does boost to highs and low frequencies, so a little bit of EQ stuff. We also have an enhancer, an expander, and a gate, noise gate, all that good stuff. And I'm also using a Behringer XENYX Q802 USB audio interface, which the mic, which is a Shure SM7B, goes into the DBX, which then goes into the Behringer audio interface, which then goes USB connection to the back of the computer. Very complicated, I know. Anyways, that took forever, but I love all that stuff. And, okay, on to the next question. All right, this is getting a little bit faster than I thought it was going to be. Do you know other languages? Sí. Más o menos. So Spanish and barely. Well, so. But you Spanish speakers, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's it. Just Spanish and English, but only a little bit of Spanish. What countries do you want to visit? I really want to go to no particular order, but I want to go to England. I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Scotland. I want to go to Germany. I want to go probably to the Netherlands. I think that would be pretty cool. Australia for one. Oh gosh, Canada definitely. I mean, it's really close. Yeah, it's really not that far away. I mean, it kind of is, but a day's travel, I could be there. It wouldn't be that big of a problem. I'd have to fly, of course, but yeah, it's okay. Let's see here. What will you do with Beefs and John's heads when the Club Avengers defeat them? Well, okay, I'm not going to completely do anything stupid because I have a large appreciation for those two. I'm not going to do anything crazy. That's actually a really funny question, though. How many push-ups can you do? It depends on the day. It's been a while since I actually have worked out, like, on a regular basis. I used to play football. But ever since then, I don't work out very often, or nearly as often as I should. But I mean, I'm still pretty confident that I could do pretty good. Okay, would you rather have everything you drink to be hot or everything you eat to be cold? Ugh. That's tough. Everything to eat to be cold, because I love some ice cream, and I live in Texas, so 100-degree heat with hot drinks, not going to happen. I would have to have it cold. I'd have to. There's no way. Easy. That was the easier question I thought it was going to be. Okay, next questions. Let's see here. This one comes from Wazus. Here's my question. Will you be doing a dungeon with John or possibly anyone who isn't in the Club Avengers in the near future episodes, like with a temporary truce called for that dungeon alone? I don't know. There's always a possibility of something like that. But you never really know. None of this is really that scheduled out. Surprise. So it's possible, but I don't know. I don't have any answers. Now, I did just solo the volcano by myself. That was fun. Not really. I definitely recommend doing that with a group of people, because that was not as fun. The 2 episodes that I did probably took about 3 hours to do. I died a couple times. Yeah, not very fun. Not very fun at all. Okay, this one comes from Clop SA, which it's not the same Clop. Who's my favorite YouTuber? That's really, really hard. Okay, so let me get a little bit more serious here for a second. I started off, and I'm going to make this short. Excuse me. I started off with YouTube. I first found Vintage Beef. I had never really watched YouTube videos before. Conan Exiles was about to come out. I've always gamed most of my life. I've told this story before, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again for all you new peeps. I found out about Conan Exiles. I looked on YouTube because there was nothing out there for information-wise. I saw that Beef was doing videos, fell in love with his channel, found John, fell in love with John's channel, found Clop, fell in love with Clop's channel, and it just grew from there. So basically, I don't have a favorite. I don't. I've got a group of guys and girls that inspire me to do better, inspire me to be creative. They make me laugh a ton. It's really hard to say one, but I definitely have a group of like 5 to 10 YouTubers that always inspire me. No matter what they do, no matter what videos they put out there, I always enjoy them and always love them. Beef, John, Clop. There's a guy named Stone Mountain 64. He does great stuff. He's about my age, and he does a lot of first-person shooter stuff. But like his personality and the way he does things, is really cool. Slipgator, these people. Every time I watch something of theirs, I love watching it. They're great. There's a list a mile long of other creative YouTubers out there. Very entertaining YouTubers. I just don't have the time to watch all of them, which is kind of a problem, especially with trying to do my own stuff. But those are the ones that really do inspire me. Beef, John, Clop, Slip. These guys and gals on the rest of the list, they really do. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, okay, that was a lot longer of an answer than I thought it was going to be. Let's see. King Wafflemonger. I can't wait. Okay. Arch frenemies, Clop versus Beef, the Builders Extraordinaire, Haven versus John Bain, which leaves the rest of tasty goodness for young Master Mace. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Rothgar and Joss, you're going down. You're going down. Let's see here. What country am I from? You sound USA-ish, but then so do Beef and Clop, and they are Canadians, eh? I like what you did there. Nice. I am a American. I do live in the great state of Texas. Have you traveled any place interesting? No, I've never been out of the country. I've been to some cool places, but it's only been around the United States. I really want to travel the world. I really want to go to different states that I've already been to. I've already seen a lot of the touristy things that I could ever really want to see in the states that I've been to already. And I need to kind of branch out and do a little bit more travel. All right, let's see here. Is being a professional YouTuber something you want to do long-term, and if so, when did you decide on it? You know, about a year ago, when I was watching John's and Beef's and Clop's videos in the first Conan Devolved season, I really enjoyed seeing what they did, and I always wanted to find something creative to do that pushed me outside of every boundary, every limit that I've ever tried doing before. I'm a pretty creative person, I like to think, and I was just kind of stale and stagnant at work, and there wasn't much creativity that I could interject into that. But I liked my job. It was a secure job, and I didn't really want to find another one. But at the same time, I wanted a hobby or something that I could do that would push me in those boundaries. So it just lined up perfectly. Started getting into Conan, started getting into the idea that I could actually do some videos. So I tried it, and I told myself I'll give myself a year, and I'll see if I enjoy it. And if I ever don't enjoy it, then I'll stop doing it. But so far, I really enjoy it. So I would love to do it full time. To answer your question, yes. I would love to stream at some point. I don't know. That's a completely different ball game than making videos. I have the luxury of being able to edit, cut, to go back, redo, all sorts of things, doing it live, completely different. And in a large sense, there's some cross audience, but it's not always the same. It's really not always the same, especially if it's a lot longer windows of time. Sometimes you got to play different games. You don't have to, but you know. Anyways, yes, to answer your question, I would love to. It's very detailed, but yes, I do. Okay. So when did I decide on that? When I first started. And when I first started enjoying it, and now that I'm at 1,000, which is great. It's the best I've ever been at, and I am extremely excited. It just fuels that fire even more. So the next question is, are you aware your voice actually sounds like someone who would play Spider-Man? It has that young scientist aspiring tone to it. Thank you. No, I did not know that. But I will accept any and all voiceover, voice actor, acting jobs that I could get. Actually, I've always thought that would be really fun. And in a large sense, this kind of allows me to do that. Yeah, I mean, even all of this comes from myself. It's not scripted or anything like that. So, yeah, it's in a way I already kind of do that, which is cool. What is your current favorite video game of all time? Ugh. You know, Skyrim's pretty freaking fun. I love medieval type games. Always have. I just find it a lot of fun. I enjoy those a lot more than futuristic, even though I enjoy those too. I like all types of games. But I would say Skyrim, probably. Let's see. Will you go back to Dark and Light and reassess it because I want to know if I should buy it? So, essentially, Dark and Light, it was okay. It was a neat concept, but it's like they tried too hard to be something that they weren't. And when I was playing it, it was really, really, really buggy and not very user-friendly, if you know what I mean. I mean, I'm talking about getting grieved by the game constantly because of certain creatures coming after you with a huge aggro range, and they didn't de-aggro. And if you weren't super high power leveled, it was crazy. Also, the building parts and pieces were ridiculously expensive. Like, unnecessarily expensive, and it was impossible to build anything top tier without spending forever in a game. You guys know me. I've played Conan for, if you've been with the channel for any amount of time, I've done like over 100 episodes in Conan. I'm familiar with what it takes to grind things out. This was Conan times like 5. It was that bad. So, I mean, sure, play it. Maybe I'll have a better experience than I did. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back, though. I'm sure they've changed a lot of that stuff, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need to go back to that. All right, let's see here. Anything else? Was it fun scaring Haven that one time when you visited Clop Avenger's Tower and gave him a mild cardiac arrest? Yes, it was. A lot of fun, actually. He kind of gave me a little bit of a heart attack as well. Do I have emo punk hair in real life? No, I don't think so. It's nothing crazy or drastic. It's a pretty normal guy haircut. I do have the beard, though. That's not really emu or emo. It's emo, okay? It's not emu, it's emo. And no, it's not really emo. Okay, next question. Henrik von Wick. What server do I play on? I play on the Conan Devolved server, just like all the other YouTubers who are, well, not everybody, but a lot of the other YouTubers that are playing. All right, let's see here. I think that is all of the questions. It is. Yes, it is. Guys, thank you so much for actually asking me questions. I was concerned there wasn't going to be any. But yeah, so I've got the description full of all my setup, my gear. I don't really have any crazy monitors or anything like that. Nothing that special. One's like a 27-inch Dell and one's like a 23-inch Samsung that sits on top of the DBX. I might get that in the B-roll. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, guys, yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to ask those questions. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being there for me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you on Monday with another episode of Conan Exiles. All right. Bye-bye.